जब से NCCD ने अपना कार्य शुरू किया है तो एक इंटीग्रेटेड तरीके से इस सेक्टर के विकास के लिए कार्रवाई शुरू हुई है। आइए सुनते हैं श्री आशीष फोतेदार जी को।
Good morning all. I first of all thank you everyone, taking your time to be present around here and listening to what the experts have to say and what government of India is also thinking in terms of developing the cold chain. And I also thank the PhD Chamber of Commerce for giving me the opportunity to kind of relate what is happening around the cold chain sector in India and internationally, how we are now trying to get in line with the technology and other aspects of the technology in the cold chain sector. By this, we welcome all, and I'm sure this event would be beneficial in understanding our combined role in the development of the cold chain sector in sustainable way in India. The cold chain industry plays a very vital role in ensuring storage, safe and efficient transportation of perishable goods such as food, fruits and vegetables from farm gate up to the end of supply chain, which is where you and I sit. We are moving ahead at a faster pace with the challenge of incorporating new technologies, energy, climate, globalization and growing global population which would require more food to live and sustain themselves. Therefore, it is imperative that we focus on making this industry sustainable and environmentally friendly. First and foremost, let's recognize the critical role the cold chain industry plays today and in our daily lives. It enables us to enjoy fresh produce all the year round, ensures that life-saving medications reach those in need, and plays a significant role in providing consumers with nutritious, disease-free and healthy products while reducing the post-harvest losses and increasing the farmers' income. In the current scenario, the cold chain sector is undergoing a significant transformation and the need for environment-friendly and energy-efficient cooling solutions are becoming more pressing than ever. Various concerns are growing, including climate change and the detrimental impact of traditional refrigerants on the environment. To build a sustainable cold chain industry, we must address certain challenges which are like, let's first talk about the pressing issues which are global in nature and are kind of now pressing on to the Indian environment also, since we are signatory to a lot of treaties worldwide, and it's very, very important that we start getting in line with those treaties. I'll first kind of emphasize on certain things. Throughout the world, the cultivable area is barely expanding anymore, and a substantial portion of the existing agricultural land is losing fertility. Grasslands have been overgrazed and fisheries overharvested. Water bodies have suffered extensive depletion and pollution, several restricting the food production. A steady decline in the total amount of ozone in the Earth's stratosphere, commonly referred to as the ozone hole, poses a real danger to the ecosystem and human health. Although environmental concerns have a long history, awareness of the environmental consequences of economic growth acquired increasingly political character in the 1960s onwards. The Club of Rome, a global think tank, published a book in 1972 entitled The Limits of Growth, dramatizing the potential depletion of the Earth's resources against the backdrop of rapidly growing world population. International agencies, including the United Nations Environment Programme, began holding international conferences and promoting detailed studies to get more coordinated and effective response to the environmental problems. Since then, the environment has emerged as a significant issue of global politics. The growing focus on environmental issues within the area of global politics was firmly consolidated at the United Nations Conference on the Environment and Development held in Rio, Brazil in June 1992. This was also called the Earth Summit. The summit was attended by 170 states, thousands of NGOs and many multinational corporations. 5 years earlier, the 1987 Bundland report, which was named as our common feature, had warned that the traditional pattern of economic growth were not sustainable in the long term, especially in view of further industrial development. What was obvious at the Rio summit was that the rich and the developed countries of the world, generally referred as the global north, were pursuing a different environmental agenda than the poor and the developing countries, the third world, called the global south. Whereas the northern states were concerned about the ozone depletion and the global warming, the southern states were anxious to address the relationship between the economic development and the environmental management, where India is also part of the global south. The Rio Summit produced conventions dealing with the climate change, biodiversity, forestry, and recommended the list of development practices called Agenda 21, but it left considerable differences and difficulties unresolved. There was a consensus on the combining economic growth with ecological responsibility. This approach to development is commonly known as the sustainable development, which we all are talking today in terms of growth and development in the cold chain sector. The problem, however, was and is how exactly this is to be achieved. Now, what we understand in the present date and how we need to address all these concerns with reference to the growth in the cold chain is that we need to focus on energy efficiency. We must strive to minimize the energy consumption of cold chain facilities. This can be achieved through the use of energy efficient refrigeration technologies such as advanced insulation materials, high efficiency compressors, and intelligent control systems. Additionally, renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power should be integrated in the cold chain infrastructure wherever possible. Then we talk of green refrigerants. Refrigerants are the backbone of the cold chain sector, and it is crucial to raise awareness and knowledge which will be helpful in developing a sustainable system that minimizes harm to the environment. Traditional refrigerants such as chlorofluorocarbons and hydrofluorocarbons have long been used in cooling systems due to their efficient thermal properties. However, these substances are known to cause the depletion of the ozone layer and also contribute to the global warming, making them an unsustainable choice for the future. Today, the refrigerant industry is shifting towards more sustainable and energy efficient solutions due to the more negative environmental effect of traditional refrigerants. Now, natural refrigerants like hydrocarbons, carbon dioxide, and ammonia are being more popular for their low ozone depletion and zero global warming potential. With the rising demand in the cold chain sector, the pursuit of net zero emission and the phase down of harmful refrigerants are essential for mitigating climate change and ensuring a sustainable future. Technological advancements, innovative technologies can play a significant role in building a sustainable cold chain industry. The Internet of Things can provide real-time monitoring and control of parameters, ensuring optimal conditions throughout the supply chain. Artificial intelligence and data analytics can help optimize routing, reduce energy consumption, and predict maintenance needs, improving overall efficiency. The government has undertaken several measures to boost and grow the cold chain industry in India. In this pursuit, it has implemented several carefully designed schemes with the aim of aiding the cold chain industry with all the requirements needed for its development, ease of doing business, attracting foreign investors, and growing its market share in the economy. Several policies and subsidies have been provided to ensure that the industry has a growth rate at par with other countries, and simultaneously, this creates an ecosystem where farmers do not have to sell their produce at throwaway prices. These schemes are under MIDH, which is a department under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, National Horticulture Board, which runs the pre-harvest as well as certain post-harvest schemes, and NHM, which is a scheme under MIDH providing assistance to all eligible cold chain components, Ministry of Food Processing Industry, and APIDA. NCCD is a think tank, and its main objective is to guide the government with the development of standards, protocols, knowledge dissemination, and advisory for the development of cold chain in India. NCCD has been instrumental in developing the present guidelines and has conducted several studies, conducted a lot of awareness programs, and promoted capacity building initiatives. While the core of NCCD's role remains the same, but with challenges which are pressing itself as a major hindrance to the development of cold chain, NCCD is accelerating its initiatives in bringing forth these challenges and sensitizing all the stakeholders about the challenges and the methods to get ready for the development of cold chain with renewed focus on new modern technologies, energy efficiency designs, energy consumption and its reduction, energy transition, use and introduction of new green refrigerants, capacity building on new emerging technologies, MOUs with reputed sectoral multifunctional agencies to deliver a common agenda for the development and awareness and take forward the idea of sustainability in the growth of the cold chain sector. And we are doing this in very fast and getting excellent response to this. NCCD is in final stage of conducting a study to identify and analyze the existing gaps within the cold chain sector across the nation to facilitate an accurate assessment for the future cold chain infrastructure development. This includes elements like cold storages, pack houses, refrigerated transport, ripening chambers, and associated infrastructure for fresh produce. NCCD is also planning to conduct a study on energy transition, first of its kind in India, which is a broad-based subject, and this study would be coalition of public and private stakeholders to address this unique region sector carbon footprint and to develop a mixed solution that are technically, economically, politically, and socially viable in every part of the world. NCCD is also focused on capacity building and imparting training and wide range usage of new modern technologies which promote energy efficiency and adaptability to get transferred from present energy source to the new renewable sources, thus paving way for carbon neutrality. In conclusion, building a sustainable cold chain industry is both a challenge and an opportunity. It requires collaboration among various stakeholders, sharing best practices, conducting joint research and development, and establishing best industry-wide standards which are global in